people said they didn't get it. I just think they ignored me. Here, it's okay.
I texted back and told them they can't text back.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we want to talk about some of the things that you guys saw that you liked, or things that you thought that our site could improve on. So I'm going to start and we'll toss it out to Chris.
So one of my favorite ILPC designs was it was a baseball one, and I don't know how they got the shot, but it was like a batter. I started sitting like behind the cage and the camera was through the netting. I don't know like they behind it. I don't know how they did it, but the ball, you could see the ball coming at them. And the way the page was, like, you know how we have like a sidebar on the side of the page?
Yeah.
It was like that sidebar thing was like all those things were on the ball, and you could see the player's face, especially it was perfectly. I don't know how I did it. It was beautiful. My computer's not working. I'll show you this.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Over the shoulder.
So one of the things I focused on was more like the design of the website, and so the one that I looked at that I really liked was the Odyssey. It's a school in America. I didn't remember where it was, but like I pulled it up, and I don't know if everyone can see it, but I just like the whole layout. You've got the big pictures here, and then the scroll through, and the whole setup is just really appealing to the eye, really visually appealing. We can improve it on our site because sometimes it's a little bit difficult to see the sections and where all the stories go.
Okay, well, I just pulled up this highlights from Boone High School, they're in Florida, and they had, like, they immediately, like, once you get to, the top of the page, it's, like, their Facebook site and their Twitter, and, like, if you scroll, like, halfway down, and they have, like, a calendar that you can, like, add on to, like, your calendar, like, on your, like, iPhones and stuff, so it's, like, really digitally connected for, like, whoever's reading, and, like, they can, like, easily access, like, everything besides just the site, like, all of their other online stuff, so it's really cool, like, they can interact more with the paper.
All the websites were like super squeaky clean, but they all had like an interesting like design to them. It wasn't like a boring like just plain white, but like they had like something going for each one of them that made it like appealing to the eye, but it's not like too boring where you like didn't want to like read any of the stories.
A lot of the times they posted about as much as we did, but it's not so much how much we posted, because we post well, but we post in spurts, or we post in droughts. And so like I think the biggest thing that sets you apart from everyone else is consistency, because if you look at the Dallas Morning News and all the other like Pacemaker winners, like they're very consistent when they post. So like I think a good goal is like every other day each section has new content, and you know, realistically speaking, that could be a struggle, but I think it's something that we should really work towards. The photo's really good, but when you put them on the site, the pixels were like well enough so like the photo wasn't cut off. Like I think one of the graphics in my opinion section, I don't know how to fix it, is just you can't see half of it because of how it's blown up. So I think, Nicole, do you know the dimension?
It's vertical, and so whenever you stick it into the horizontal thing, it like chops it.
Yeah.
So just try to stick to more horizontal things for the feature image or graphic.
Yeah. So that's what we have to do. Well, I thought that was the difference.
What Priya said about the calendar and stuff like that, a lot of times I saw on these sites that they had just not necessarily like briefs about stuff, but they would just have a calendar of like times, places of what's going on like the next like 2 weeks. I feel like that's something we could really do to our site, that people can just like go real quick, see what's going on, and maybe that's what all the information they needed. But they would still come to our site. Another thing I noticed that most of these had polls. Most of these sites have polls, but the polls are more in depth and about kind of like their opinion on like worldly issues or about stories they did, instead of like what you do on spring break and stuff like that. So I feel like that's something maybe we could try doing, just make it more more in depth on our polls.
My favorite was the writer online, and one of the biggest things that they did, they had, once you immediately went on their page, it's just like, it basically just looked like a, kind of like a newspaper, like it should be like a newspaper online. And then the one thing that caught my eye was all the photographs. The feature photographs were not only were they just big, but they were really like well taken. Like instead of having a graphic for a story about the winter days, they had a picture from the back of like icicles that reflected light, and it looked really cool. And they also had some photo illustrations that instead of like graphics that they could have drawn, they did a lot of photo illustrations that were, in my opinion, really cool. And then one of the other things I saw from a different publication was it was a story about Taco Bell gazpacho, and it was really weird. It was they had like a bowl and they really like set it up like a professional, like a photo shoot for food, and so it had like strong lighting in it, and it looked like really like a professional photo, like an advertisement. So I think that was really cool. We said Taco Bell gazpacho.
Anyone else?
No.
Great discussion.
And I think that's kind of an issue if our stories like don't even show up. So I don't know if we have like, I don't know if we made our, what's the camera? I don't know if we made our own website or how that worked, but if we could maybe make that like a project to get our mobile site better, because a lot of people use their phones and iPads, and maybe that would help.
Yeah, going off on that. Also on the mobile site, sometimes some of the photos don't show up even though they've been posted with the stories. So they're just like a random like circle that says like the date it was posted instead of the photo, even though when you go to the website there's a photo that goes with it. So I don't know how that works either. But
That could be just problems with the WordPress. I don't know. It could be.
They're all cameras.